A girl, Sunny, is preparing a meal to be posted on her Instagram account, and her boyfriend, Brad, tells her that he is going upstairs to sleep. He tells her not to stay up late and leaves. Just then, they hear a knock on their door. Both of them look surprised as they are not expecting anybody. When the guy checks outside, there is no one. He thinks it must be the kids in the neighborhood. He asks Sunny to set up the alarm and check the back door. They go ahead and switch on the security alarm. As she goes to the back, she sees a man outside the window, which scares her. Listening to her scream, Brad comes rushing towards her. She tells him that she saw someone outside. He checks from the window, but there is no one. Just then, the alarm is triggered. When the couple comes to check, they see one of the doors is open and they call 911. The officer asks them questions about the incident. While listening to the couple's story, the officer tells them there could be a possibility that they forgot to lock the door and switch on the alarm. Brad agrees this could be a possibility as he is not sure if he did lock the door. However, Sunny believes she did see someone outside the window. When the officer asks Brad if he saw someone outside, he replied he did not. The officer mentions that they will patrol the area to make sure everything is fine. The officer asks them if they are feeling uncomfortable. They can go to their relatives or maybe take a vacation to relax. The couple decides to go for a weekend getaway and drive to a secluded cabin in the middle of the woods. They reach the place using the map. The couple checks out the cabin and really likes the interiors. Brad goes upstairs to keep the luggage in the room. While he is freshening up, a man comes from behind, which scares him. He turns out to be the property manager for this house. The property manager shows them the house. He tells them they are the only ones in all the cottages nearby as more people are expected in the coming weeks. He tells them they can call him using a landline as there is no mobile service in the area, and he leaves the house. The couple decides to go for a walk to explore the nearby trails. After walking for some time, Sunny feels tired and wants to go back. However, Brad wants to explore more, so they decide to split. Sunny goes back to the cabin, and Brad carries on exploring the trail. After walking for some time, he sees a man standing with his back towards him. Brad starts walking back, but turns around to check again. The man then turns around, and he is wearing a scary mask. Brad starts to walk away swiftly. As he checks again, he sees that the man has started following him. He asks the man why he is following him. The man does not respond. Brad then starts to run to get away from him. As he looks back, he does not find the person behind him. Realizing he lost the guy, he starts to walk again but sees the man standing in front of him. Realizing the danger, Brad starts to run fast towards the cabin and the man runs after him. Once he reaches the cabin, he looks towards the trail but does not see anybody coming out of the woods. Later that night, while Sunny is working on her laptop, the same man is standing outside the window of the cabin. While checking the photos, Sunny sees someone else in their photos. She asks Brad if he sees someone in the trail, to which Brad says no. She shows him the pictures where she sees another person standing in the back. Brad tells her not to worry, as these might be kids playing around in the area. Sunny seems visibly uncomfortable seeing the person wearing creepy masks in the pictures. Brad reassures her that they are safe here and they go upstairs to sleep. While they are talking, they hear a knock on the door. When Brad goes to check outside, there is nobody outside. As Brad is assuring Sunny, they hear the knock again, which angers Brad. He goes outside to ask the person doing this to leave, and it is not funny, nor is it funny earlier. As Brad comes in, Sunny asks him about what happened earlier. Brad tells her that he saw a man wearing a mask, and he didn't tell her earlier because he didn't want to freak her out. Sunny tells Brad that she wants to go home now. Brad does not agree with her since they have been drinking. He promises her that if she does not like it here, they will leave in the morning. Just then, somebody knocks again. As Brad goes out angrily, they see 3 men standing outside wearing creepy masks. He asks them to leave, otherwise he will call the cops, but the 3 men do not give any reaction. Sunny pulls Brad inside and he tells her to call the cops, but there is no network. They try to use the landline, but it is dead. They check through their window and find the 3 men standing outside. Having no other option, Brad goes outside with a sharp stick to threaten the men. He asks them if all they need is money, he will give it to them, but they should leave them alone. They do not respond to him. And as Brad moves aggressively towards them, they take out their knives. Looking at their actions, Brad quickly goes back inside and asks Sunny to lock all the doors and windows. Both Brad and Sunny then locks all the entry points for the cabin before the 3 men could enter inside. After locking all the entry points, Sunny tells Brad these are not kids but adults with knives, and Brad has been taking this very lightly. Brad tells Sunny that they cannot get inside, as the cabin is made like a fortress. Just then, the light goes out, which makes both of them nervous. They search for a backup light and finds an emergency light in the kitchen. They take emergency light and move to the living room. Brad was thinking, how did they know that they are here, and asks Sunny if she posted anything. Sunny mentions it was just one post. As Brad is calming down Sunny, they hear the knock at the door again. They go to the main door and find the three men standing outside. Brad asks them what they want. One of the men comes forward and puts paper on the door mentioning they want the girl. Sunny gets terrified looking at their demand. Brad tells Sunny that he will not let anybody hurt her. They hear a car approaching the cabin. When they look through the window, they see the property manager. They started knocking on the windows to grab the property manager attention, but he could not hear them as he is listening to music. While the property manager is doing his inspections, one of the guys comes and stands behind him. The property manager then starts to move towards his truck. The couple tries to find him through the windows, but cannot see him anywhere. They hear a knock at the door. As they remove the curtain, they see the men holding the dead body of the property manager against the door. Fearing for their lives, Sunny starts to panic, as they have no resources to deal with these men. Brad tells her to calm down and tells her that they are safe as long as they stay inside. He believes that someone will eventually come looking for them. Brad sees one of them standing outside and goes to talk to him. He tells the guy to let them go and promises him that they will not go to the police as they cannot identify them since they have not seen their faces. The guy then removes his mask, showing his face to Brad as he has no fear of being caught by the police. Brad is taken aback by his act and steps back. The three men then start banging at the doors and windows of the cabin, with one of the men indicating they have only 5 minutes to come out. Brad believes it is just a bluff since they cannot do anything as long as they are outside. 3 men come back with gas containers and they split to move to each side of the cabin. They start pouring gas on the walls and floors of the cabin. After pouring the gas, they give the couple 1 minute to come out of the cabin before they light it up. Brad comes up with a plan to save themselves. He tells Sunny that he will distract the guys so that she can run to the car using the back door of the cabin and drive away. Sunny disagrees with his plan as she does not want to leave him alone. Brad tells her that this is the only way to get out of here. He tells her that once he distracts them, he will find an opportunity to run into the woods and wait there until she comes back with the police. Sunny finally agrees to the plan. Brad goes outside, calling the guys to come and get him and let the girl go. In the meantime, Sunny goes to the back of the cabin to check. After challenging them, he quickly gets back inside before they can lay their hands on him. After checking that nobody is there, Sunny runs towards the car. One of the men realizes something is wrong and drops the torch to go after Sunny. Sunny reaches the car but drops the keys. She picks up the keys and opens the door. The man comes and closes the door. She hits him in the stomach and runs back towards the house. The guy gets up and deflates the car tire with a knife. Just as she enters the house, another man from the group tries to stop them from closing the door. Brad asks Sunny to get the knife. Sunny grabs the knife and cuts the man's hand, allowing them to close the door. Brad and Sunny run toward the living room, not realizing that a piece of cloth is stuck in the door. Brad asks Sunny if she's fine and looks for a weapon, as the cloth is stuck in the door. This allows the men to open the door and enter. Brad grabs a sharp stick, and when he turns around, he sees the 3 men entering the living room. He asks Sunny to run. On seeing one of the men going after Sunny, he blocks him and hits him with the stick. The man falls and he kills him by smashing his head with the stick. The other 2 men then overpower Brad and hold him down. One of them takes out his knife and begins to cut him open from his chest and downwards. Brad screams in pain and dies immediately. After running for some time, Sunny stops to take a breather. She does not know where to go as she is lost in the woods. The 2 men also follow Sunny and look for her in the woods. She sits under a tree and tries to find a network but has no luck. She records a video message asking for help, narrating what she and her boyfriend has been through, and while doing so, she hears someone coming her way. One of the men approaches the tree where Sunny is sitting. When he checks, he does not find Sunny there. She then comes from behind and hits his head with a rock, causing him to fall. She then keeps hitting his head with a rock until he is dead. Sunny then leaves him but forgets her phone there. Suddenly, her phone catches the network and starts receiving notifications on her video post. As she is walking in the dark, the last man from the group stabs her in the stomach. As Sunny is lying in pain, he kicks her in the stomach. He then sits on her and begins to choke her. As Sunny is losing consciousness, her life memories start flashing in front of her. Someone then kills the guy by shooting him in the head. It turns out that the police came on time and saved her. Next, we see Sunny leaving a post for her followers that she is going to take a break from social media. She then goes out of her house and sits in her car. Just then, she starts receiving current pictures of her walking out of her house and sitting in her car on her social media account, and the movie ends there. Thanks for watching.